them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, with my friends, Jalen and Josh. And today we got some more topics as usual. House of Wolves podcast. Been going strong for 25 episodes now. That's a lot. I didn't think we was going to get this far, to be honest. We've been rocking with the podcast and putting out content, but today's topics are on schedule, as in this pretty much on brand. We're going to be talking about some Apex. We're going to talk about some Nintendo, and we're going to talk about some PC parts, some EA stuff. So stick around. Like again, we always put the markers on the video so you can skip around to exactly what we're talking about if you want to jump to section to section. But before we do that, as usual, how is my fellas doing? Y'all good? A little low energy, high energy. How we feeling?
Low energy, but feeling good because just been hanging out. My family came to town and just been enjoying the summer. Haven't seen each other in a while, but it's been hot, like super hot here. And y'all know, like when you out sightseeing and traveling, like all that walking get to you. So.
Oh yeah, man! You putting in those miles now. But you used to it. You got those long legs. They're the ones that got to keep up. I remember I was that person that had to keep up before, and it was terrible.
Did y'all come in the middle of the summer, or y'all came later, right?
No, we came when it was cold. It was still cold. It was like it was weather where you could still sweat, but you ain't gonna see it on your face. It was all gonna be on your back and your clothes.
No. New York subways ain't got no air conditioning, so.
Oh my God, it's hot and stinky up in that mug. I bet. Smell like rancid beast in that mug. Got some blood-starved beast in the back on that thing. I know that thing stink.
Yeah, you know Josh out of shape, man. You don't be doing nothing.
I need to start working out again.
Yeah, you gotta have that protein powder you used to be having, man.
Like muscle milk.
Where you have protein powder.
You gotta get that muscle milk back in you.
I'm like, man, he finna get stronger than me. He finna be buff. He finna. Boy, Jay gonna put that back. All right, my bad, man.
You gonna be breaking plates and just trying to make a quesadilla.
Why you turn on the air conditioning, Jalen?
Man, please understand, man. Please understand. Please be excited. Shoot, I'm straight, man. Just doing my clinical rotations. Yeah, I know y'all been giving me heat about that vaccine, man. The COVID-19 vaccine. I got that mug and I was down bad. Keep it a buck with y'all. If I had to choose between COVID and that vaccine, I'm choosing COVID 110% of the time. Like, I was in that mug looking like, man, what's going on, man? But yeah, other than that, man, everything been straight, man. Just trying to make the most of my time and enjoy what I'm doing and stuff like that. So trying to make a positive impact in people's lives. So that's pretty much it, though.
Maintain. Jalen don't believe me, but he should drunk some Gatorade.
Man, stop saying that, dude. I'm like, bro, I got a whole fever. No, Gatorade is not for
Gatorade would have saved him from at least 4 out of 5 of his symptoms. Guaranteed. He don't believe me though. So he's the doctor here. So I guess I ain't really got nothing to stand on here. I'm not really backed by anybody, but I guarantee if you take that vaccine, drink y'all some Gatorade, man. You do a mix or two. Do the mix and match. You get you a Powerade and a Gatorade. Let them counterbalance each other. But anywho, because before he tried to debunk my theory. let's get right into, I guess, the first topic I wanted to talk about. Something we all kind of look. I guess we look forward to. We still playing. Is that Apex, man? Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow is a special reset day. You got a collection event going off, and they actually showed off Revenant's whole little heirloom. Heirloom. They showed off his heirloom, and it looks pretty cool. It's an actual scythe, like a Reaper scythe, really. And yeah, I think the animators always do a good job. It looks really cool. Actually, they did a better job than most when it comes to the animation, because it's really different from what the most other animations look like, and it's huge. But yeah, they actually have that, and they bringing back the OG Kings Canyon, and they bringing back the OG World's Edge. A lot of hot spots. I feel like Kings Canyon, people are going to love their old spots being back, but they're going to realize how bad those spots were. Like, there's a reason why Skull Town had to go. And it was just unbalanced. It was a lot of hectic for no reason. People popping out of nowhere. But it's going to be fun to drop into those places as usual. Most of the map going to be dead in the first 4 minutes, because everybody going to drop Skull Town or Cascade, wherever the crazies used to go. That's where we're gonna go this time. And it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I feel like Skull Town is just gonna be another. What's that tower that they replaced it with? In the center of World's Edge.
You talking about the east, the Midtown? You talking about that area? Or
the tower that that people, you take the zip line all the way to the top.
Oh, you talking about
the Apex?
The
or Epicenter?
The Epicenter, yeah. You talking about the Epicenter, right? The one with the ice walls and stuff?
No, the other map. My bad.
You said World's Edge. Oh, you mean you talking about you're talking about
Kings
actual
Canyon.
Kings Canyon.
The tower on Kings Canyon is gonna be
Oh,
like
you
that.
talking about that stupid tower, the cage tower?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so, man. The cage is not a bad area.
Skull Town has a bunch of cages, though.
Is that's not where the area was, though?
Are they going to include the little shack? No, they're going back to the original, where it's the little shacks, and then next to it, it's that little cage where
it's Thunderdome and then Skull Town. Yeah. So, but that cage, it feels totally different because there's so much verticality to it. Thunderdome and Skull Town, they were just like, they had buildings, but most people didn't go up top. Well, first, most people wasn't able to fly. So now you got characters like, I can't even think of her name now. Valkyrie, she's in there. Revenant just got a buff. He can run up walls endlessly. It's like really, really long time, essentially. And you got better Pathfinders. Because Pathfinders used to suck when it was OG Skull Town, but now they can whip their hair back and forth, so they probably can get up there no problem. So you got people like that, then you got Horizon. So a lot of verticality has been put into the game now, so Skull Town will feel differently because you got different characters. But yeah, I remember running through there with Lifeline, sticking to the ground, It's interesting. It's only been like 2 years. It has been. It's almost 3 years now. It's past 3 years, right? I think it's been 3 years since that game came out, and it felt like it was such a long time ago when it really wasn't. It wasn't.
No, it's been 2.
Huh?
I think it's only been 2.
Yeah, because I think it came out in 2019, right? Yeah, and then it came
February 2019.
Yep. So yeah, it's only been 2. Dang, it's not even been that long. It feel like it's been a long time. I think it's just so many changes. We was used to Fortnite. Fortnite came out and it didn't have any changes for like the first 2 years or so. It was like really minuscule changes. It wasn't really something big, like a whole new map. And then Apex come on the scene and it's like 2-3 seasons, like 3 like season rotations in, it came out with a new map. Yeah, that's crazy. But
I did change. They had Thanos on there. Remember? No.
Yeah, okay. They had to start changing when they realized that Apex was out. That's when they really started addressing.
Yeah, the same week Apex came, they put a pinging system in there.
Yeah, they did, man. They put everything up in there. They stole a lot of good ideas from Apex, which is fine. I'm fine with both of them stealing ideas from one another, because it makes the games better. But yeah, definitely Apex put them on notice, and then that's when they first introduced their map. Like I think it was like a season later, they introduced their map revision. Even though people were saying they were talking about it, but they just didn't do anything. I think Apex came out with a new map before Fortnite. But anyway, we're not talking about Fortnite. We're talking about OG Kings Canyon, OG World's Edge. And unfortunately, when these events come, your pockets also get hit if you want to participate. You don't have to, of course. It's all about if you want to participate. And for cosmetics and things of this caliber to come around and intrigue people, I find it very expensive if you want to actually collect things within this collection event. It shouldn't cost you the amount that it costs you to actually collect the items within said event. And it's amazing that they kind of get away with it. I think people respect the amounts and respect the rarity of the items, but I don't think people appreciate how much it actually legitimately costs. If you really wanted to buy everything for the collection event, it will run you $160. And that's to unlock the heirloom. So you don't get the heirloom unless you buy everything. And the incentive is essentially the heirloom. And they do these with every collection event. A standard event pack is $7, 700 Apex coins. So in order to buy everything, you need 24 set packs, and that's where you get the amount from. My question is, should a randomized drop cost $7? I don't know. Is $7 justifiable as an amount if they provide other options to buy things outright? They give you an option. They give you 3 ways to buy. So they give you the event packs, which you could buy and then and go from there. They give you the ability to craft event packs, which cost around 800 crafting materials. And then they give you the option to spend Apex coins directly on the items you want. And that's another way for you to avoid having to spend multiple dollars or something on things you don't want versus being able to purchase the one thing that you do want. I think I'm the only one that can really talk about. I mean, I think I know you guys' opinions, but maybe they don't. My opinion is this, and I think I know Josh's opinion as well. I think his is a little more little different than Jalen's. But of course, if you find value within the item, then purchasing the price shouldn't matter. But when it comes to games that are free to play, and it comes to these models of free to play games and the cost of a cosmetic item, how do you feel the value should be determined when it comes to this stuff? Like, what makes this item worth $7? And is there a formula that we should be privy to kind of that correlates to why it's $7? Or do you feel like it's just fine for them to create and distribute the amounts in their own way without informing the public, as long as we are okay with said amounts. How do you guys feel about microtransactions in Apex? Not everywhere, just in Apex in general. And what's your thoughts behind the cost of the event packs and the cost that they put on those packs?
I mean, I think that I'm okay with cosmetics in general, but I feel like EA and Apex are like some of the not worst examples, but really bad examples of how to do it. Because I feel like, Fortnite came out with the Battle Pass, and everybody put a Battle Pass in the game, and it lets you get premium currency back so you can reuse it to buy cosmetics and stuff like that. But at some point, they started to continuously up the prices, so it doesn't even matter that you can get $10 back from getting in the Battle Pass, because just a skin for your gun is going to cost $9, or a skin for your character is going to cost 20 or more. So I feel like the pricing is not actually based on the value of what the item is. It's whatever they can get away with. So if they can sell a skin for $50, they're going to do it because of FOMO, or fear of missing out. And it's a couple skins. Like, I don't even care about really the event skins, because some of them are okay, but it's maybe like one or two that I actually want, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of money just to get those two. Whereas if it's a one-time skin like Valkyrie, this it's not going to come back for another year or something like that. I might get it because it's exactly what I want. I don't gotta play no gambling game to get it, and once I have it, I just forget about it. Whereas all these other skins in Apex, you really literally gotta gamble just to get it. Even though, sure, they give you a high chance that you're gonna guarantee to get it if you spend $100, but it's like that's still too much. But I think for me, the issue is I don't care about the price as long as they actually give you a legit way to earn it. And I don't feel like Apex does that, because if I want the event skins, like, they probably give you one or two event boxes for free, but there's no way to earn it. Like, I don't count crafting because their crafting costs are astronomical. Like, you need 1,800 crafting points to craft like a gun or something like that, and it's like that's a couple, like, if you're not spending any money, that's like a couple months of saving just for it, and it's not like a real way to earn it. Whereas I don't think Warframe does it everything good, but when I see cosmetics, that's a preferred way, at least, where if you want to just buy it, go ahead, spend $20, but you at least have a way in game to play and get it without spending any money. I feel like as long as there's that balance, I don't care about the price, because then I have an option. I can put the time in and get it, or I can go ahead and spend the money. Whereas Apex, I don't feel like it's balanced. It's heavily incentivizing you to spend the money, because either you don't have enough time to grind out the stuff to get it, or there's literally no way to get it.
Yeah, I guess that's true in the I guess that's very true. Like, just having that additional backup plan on how to earn it, and then you having the ability to just buy it outright, and it's easier that way. That does make a lot of sense to kind of make people feel better about the purchase. Like, okay, if I really want to earn it, I can just put this time in here. But it's really hard in that game, because really your battle pass is set. You know exactly what you're gonna get. The loot boxes are very randomized, and then you don't really have anything outside of moving forward on the points you earn leveling up till 500. You don't really have any other way of getting like the cosmetics or of earning the ability to purchase these items because there's just so much limited things.
Like if you start playing Apex the day this event comes out, if you don't spend any money, there's like no way you're gonna unlock any of those skins because you just don't have enough time in a single day to play, level up, and like get enough crafting just to make one skin.
True.
Because the event 2 weeks.
Yeah. Now I've been hearing like other ways. I looked some stuff up online about how well, I guess let me ask Jalen first. He didn't say anything. Jalen, I guess what's your take on Apex Legends microtransactions?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really do microtransactions, but like, as far as like what y'all speaking about, like earning like currency and stuff like that, and unlocking stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know nothing about it because I don't like indulge in any of that, or grinding any of that. I guess I should say. But I personally think they microtransactions cost a lot of money. I don't see how. I think they got like Apex like Mirage Edition or like Lifeline Edition. Like they had like a little angel thing for Lifeline. You get like a little banner, like you know what I'm saying. You get all that type of stuff, but they want I think they want like $20 or $30 and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know why I ever pay that much money for whatever that little pack that they giving me. I just don't think it's worth it. I know other games got other microtransactions that seem a little bit more reasonable and stuff like that, but I always just thought Apex microtransactions was a little absurd. I'm like, how y'all want like $20, $30 for something and it ain't even like, I don't know. That game drop pool too saturated to be charging that much for different things, and I don't know. It just don't make sense to me personally, but I digress.
Yeah. No, that's understood. That's what I was expecting because basically that's how you feel about most microtransactions. It's not really something you indulge in, so you don't really understand that you don't understand that concept in its entirety in itself. So I kind of understand that was like your point of view. But yeah,
it's just a lot of money. Like I can literally go buy something. Don't some of the microtransactions be like $30 on there for like skins?
Yeah, they
like that's crazy, bro. I'm like
2,800. That's like $28. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, I can literally think of 1,000 other things to do that's video game related. Then buy a skin. Like I know other games though, like they put a little bit of a premium on them, like my brother play at League of Legends, they like this limited skin, so people like sell their skins and stuff like that. But it has value to it because I'm not saying that this is okay either, but you know, certain people might not have this skin that's a limited time and you can gift them to people, you know, stuff like that. So it has some sort of value. It's like you're gonna like miss out because it's only in this time frame. Apex, I don't even think you can like give away skins or like hold on to them, and you know what I'm saying, have that type of factor to it. So
yeah, no, you can't.
I think that's another thing. So it'd probably have a little bit more value if you could do that, but that's all.
Yeah, I think that that monetary value of holding on to something, like if I bought something in League of Legends like season 1 or something, I'm pretty sure if I held on to all that stuff, I probably could go in there and actually earn money off of what I invested in the game. Versus this here is kind of like not any type of investment, or this is just kind of investing in what you would prefer your character to look like. With the prices that high, it kind of makes it feel I don't know, and because I am totally opposite from you, I don't feel like I have bought every edition. I've spent money on Apex Legends. I understand the concept of microtransactions and the thought behind of why you will want these intangible items in your roster essentially when you're playing the game, because I understand that concept, and I also understand the costs behind that. I just don't appreciate how much they kind of request for said items. I think the the thought is that this is to help the development team to create more items like this and more items like that. Sometimes I feel like they throw out a bunch of mundane, like a bunch of terrible or very basic skins, and then they provide 2 or 3 that are worthy of your time. But even though, and then they do the, I honestly think the heirloom situation is outrageous, to be honest. But they do that. They put this very iconic item behind a super large paywall, and they kind of force people to buy all of the basic and very it's like very basic things to kind of get to said item. And that's where I have a problem with the game. I can understand giving me the ability to pay a certain amount of money just to get the heirloom. I'm fine with doing that. But the fact that you lock it behind this, or you got to buy 500 packs to get this, that creates a mindset that, yes, even though I don't want these things, these itemized things, no, they don't matter. But if I want to be able to participate in this and collect a lot of these things, I have to spend around $4 to $6 grand, not $4 to $6 grand, but like $2-3 grand to get everything, right? That's a lot of money for one game. That's a lot of money to collect everything in a game. It shouldn't be that much ever. And it seems like they thrive on making it that much. Like, if you were to try to get everything in that game, it seems like they do things to kind of manipulate how people react to their items. And that's where I kind of like feel cheated. And I feel like I'm not supporting you guys. You're just trying to take advantage at this point. It's not a buy this skin and we'll do this, or we'll make better content, because you're not making better skins, or you're not making more creative things. The heirlooms you do a great job on, but that's what you hide behind the paywall. That's what it seemed like you're doing. So I see it both ways. I know I'm getting ganked, but I also appreciate cosmetics within a game to showcase, I guess, like uniqueness when it comes to my character design or my characters and how I play with them. I like to experience that within games that I enjoy to play. But I also understand the process of the gambling system, the process of creating this never-ending loop of continuous income of stream of money, and I understand keeping a business afloat. Apex is no longer being kept afloat. They can afford to bring more people in. They can afford to bring more people to do these creative thought process. And just because you want to keep the team small isn't a good excuse anymore. You have the money to make it better. You have the money to make it more, to elevate. And I don't think that's what they want to do. They just want to continuously hide behind the fact that, yeah, we were a small team and a lot of these people working hours to create this content, but the cycle is starting to repeat itself continuously, and it's starting to show that no, this isn't right. This isn't how you do microtransactions. And I think a lot of people probably will have concerns, and I think that it's going to get to a point where it blows up, and I don't want a company I really enjoy to kind of have a blow up in their face type of moment. But if they continuously keep doing this, and they continuously keep people from being able to move their transactions to other platforms, if they continuously have poor and, you know, DDoSing and cheater solutions. They keep doing, like, this stuff is going to add up to a point where it's going to be worse off for them than it is. So I just don't want to see that happen. So I think rectifying piece by piece certain things. I'm not saying that the game isn't great, but I see the flaws in the game. I see the problems in the game. I see the game's issues full force, especially when you actually participate in said game in a different way than just playing it casually and free to play. So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I don't have a solution for how they should do the transactions. I just know that hiding an heirloom that people enjoy on a character that they love to play with, like if Revenants come out and I really enjoy playing with Revenant, do I really gotta pay $156 just to get her heirloom? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I think the fundamental idea of what an heirloom isn't even being like clear here, because like, you know, Revenant is my favorite character. I got 1,000, 2,000 hours with Revenant, but I don't have his heirloom because I haven't spent the money. So it's not about me actually using him. It's about spending the money. So again, that could be rectified with having a way to earn it by playing with Revenant instead of it just being, because I mean, sure, you can play forever, open 500 loot boxes, and then you get an heirloom.
One heirloom.
One heirloom, yeah. And that's still not have anything to do with this being your favorite character. And, you know, so if there's at least a challenge, you know, it can be super hard. You got to reach Apex Predator or even something dumb. At least if there's an option to do it, that makes the money game a little bit better because you don't have to do it. But now you pretty much have to do it or wait 2 years. Just playing free to play.
And I think, again, that fear of missing out causes people to go out and actually find $100 and something to buy it now, to make sure that during these, it's like these collection events are their money grabs. And of course, they're going to continuously do them every season because this is probably the time frame that they actually earn the most money, because people are willing to spend $156 to earn and to keep heirloom before it goes back into the pool of you got to unlock 500 Apex packs and you have the potential at the end of that 500, not the potential, but just guaranteed to receive the shards to buy one. So that is manipulative. It's not even gambling at that point. It's really just forcing people to make a decision. In this 2-week time span, am I going to make enough? If I'm going to spend enough on this game to make sure I keep this thing, or am I going to miss out on it for forever? Because really, there's no other way to earn it. And realistically, at least, I can spend $500 and buy 500 Apex packs, but that's not cheaper than 156. That's a deal. It's like, so it's stupid stuff like that, where you kind of see the EA mechanics. I don't know if it's EA for its Respawn. I don't know. All I know is that this is egregious when I think about it too long. And I feel like I should stop playing it because it's so ridiculous. And but it's unfortunately one of my favorite games. So it's really a strong feeling of, you know, what is the right thing to do here? The right thing to do is to stop playing this game, because simply they're manipulating how people interact with their characters that they have grown to love. But it's also a really good game. So, and you don't have to have any of this stuff. You don't have to have it. So don't make it. I don't want people to feel like, oh, is it going to make you superior in the lobby if you got an heirloom? No. Is it going to make you the best player on the map if you got it? No. What does it do for you? It's basically that whole idea of interacting with your favorite character in a much deeper and deeper way, I guess, because it's not like you get anything from it. You just get the animations. You get to see how they interacting with their heirloom. This is like a one of one thing for that character only. So it's that thought process, but it really is nothing else to it. So I can't be mad because it's still a free game, but I can be mad about the manipulative tactic to get people to want to impulse buy for that set amount. If that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on Apex microtransactions. Still looking forward to the OG maps. Still looking forward to the OG World's Edge. I think it's going to be fun times. But we know we are the king of segues because we tell them and we don't move on. But the next segue or the next topic segue. What's wrong with me? Is the journey for the 3080, Josh. Tell us about the ups, the downs, and the finally conquering.
Well, you told us about it before they launched, like when nobody ever gonna be able to find it. Like if I knew it would have been this difficult, I would have just pre-ordered one, even if I wasn't even gonna use it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm building a computer and I'm looking for the cards and like, they pretty decent, and I'm looking at the MSRP and they're like, oh wow, it's way cheaper than the last generation, so let me try to find it. And they're, everybody's scalping them online. They're super like 200% MSRP just to get one. And like, okay, I'm not gonna give the scalper any money. So how long would it take just for Amazon or Best Buy to get like a drop? And it's like, if you're trying to use like a tracker, things like that, it's not going to help because all these websites are kind of trying to combat bots and scalpers. So the only way for you to actually find out if Best Buy has a card is to go to their website, because a lot of the stores like Best Buy, they don't keep them in the store. You got to get it on the website and just keep refreshing every couple hours just to see if something happened. And I was doing that for like 4 or 5 days straight, and when they were in stock, like I spent that whole afternoon trying to get something in the cart. Like it's available, I add it to the cart, can't check out, or I'm clicking the add to cart button and keep giving the error. And like they were fully in stock of like 20 different cars, and I couldn't get a single one in the cart. And it's just like, this is dumb. Like if it's available, a bot's going to beat me to it, or it's just not going to be available for a couple of other weeks. And it's like, it shouldn't be this difficult for like a just a little piece of machinery, but it's really just people playing off that demand, trying to make a quick dollar off of it and hoarding it so that the prices stay high. Yep. Eventually, I think anybody that's going to actually get one is just going to have to find success with like local stores. And I was able to find like Micro Center was doing a little raffle where, you scan their QR code and show up to the door. And if they, pick your number or whatever, then you can go in and buy it. And luckily it worked out for me the first time I tried it. I can see, maybe it doesn't work on you the first time, but like just do that 2-3 times. So like it's guaranteed that you're going to get one, because in your local area, there's only so many people that are going to show up versus online where you fight against thousands of bots. And that was the other thing, like the new egg, they do like a raffle every day, and I was jumping in on that. But when I was looking at it online, people were talking about like thousands of people enter that raffle. So even if they have a bunch of cards, you probably still only got like less than 1% chance to ever win one. And people talking about like they've been entering it for months and haven't won. So it's like the raffle's not even worth it at that point. Just see what local stores actually have them in store and just check in every couple of days. And that's going to really be the only way to get one until they're able to just like mass produce more and you're able to just go pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know how I was able to secure anything. I mean, like I said, when I first when I heard about like the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and the 3080s and the cards, and I tried to even get one day one to purchase because I was like, I don't need it, but I'm gonna try because these cards are gonna go out of stock, and I'm never gonna be able to get one. Still didn't get one because it was such a botched launch, and I basically stopped trying. I didn't really care at that point, and I was like, I just wait until they finally come back. And it's kind of the same situation with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. It's like, yeah, you can wait, and you could probably get one if you keep really trying hard, and you stick with the local spots versus going online. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be this hard to get some technology. And I think the amount of people that want to use these, these entertainment these are basically entertainment situations. The 3080, yes, most people are going to game on it. They're not just trying to, buy it for the purposes of, editing or trying to get to render something quickly or something like that. And most people ain't doing that. Most people are just want to play games and want to do this stuff. So Series X, PS5, they all fall in that category. We have multiple generations of people that want to buy stuff, people that finally came into some money, people had their stimmies. So it was just kind of like this this perfect storm, I would call it, of people, bots, and the crazies all happening at once that kind of caused the whole issues and everything. And I guess going back to your point of keeping things local and actually not allowing stuff to go online, it is a it is a way to do it, but at the same time there was a lot of fights breaking out. There were a lot of issues with the systems and how employees were trying to get them for themselves. And yeah, people try to, there's a lot of things that comes into play when it comes to that stuff. But
being local was its own different battle. I feel like I was only lucky because the cars have almost been out a year, where we've, at least where I'm at, we've exited the pandemic and people can go outside, and you got to worry about like, a 4-person limit in the store and stuff like that. We can just go out and shop like normal. So if those issues were still there, then yeah, like going local, it's its own thing. And like I had to travel super far to go get it, and it's like it's not really worth it. Like I wish I can just put it in my cart and order it and then wait a couple weeks and I'll get one, but it's not that simple anymore. So you still gotta, I guess, be careful. Like when I actually went, it was a bunch of people that showed up, and luckily the store had a bunch of cards where most people, more than half, I feel like, that showed up were able to get one. But like, yeah, in some areas it can be worse. And that store was very strict with like, one card per person, per household. And like, if you bought one in the last month, you can't buy another one. But obviously there were still scalpers out there trying to, buy it off you after you leave the store. So it's its own headache, and it's just a situation I feel like shouldn't be there, but it is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if people who actually wanted it to use it were able to buy it, like everybody, not everybody, but most people would have it. But I feel like there is a huge percentage of people just wanting to resell it that's keeping it from the people who actually want to use it.
Yeah, I think it's just it's very interesting. Now, I guess, what are you planning on doing with your Secure 3080, Josh?
Well, I guess, it's the next generation for games, but it's next generation for a lot of things, just technology in general. Mostly to do with like ray tracing, like Unreal 5 is something that I'm very interested in, just from an art standpoint, because I can see a lot of ways that it makes the type of work or art that I do just a lot easier, but also not just easy, but like way better than what I could do before. But for that, you need a ray tracing capable card. So that's what I got that for. And then two, I wanted to build a PC mainly just to make my, I guess, workflow easier, because I mostly work on laptops, and because it's portable, and that works. It gets everything done. It's just with laptops, it, you really limit it in like CPU power, because I can work on it for an hour and things are fine, but like if I'm working on it all day, which I like to, like 6, 7, 8 hours, just the CPU is going to get too hot and it's going to thermal throttle, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Like I've tried, undervolting, so I not using as much CPU power all the time to keep the temperatures down, but it's like your laptop is not made for working or rendering for 4 hours straight, and that's really going to impact your the level of work that you can do. Whereas when you actually have a built PC that has a bunch of cooling options, you can bypass all that and keep that productivity up. So that's what I'll mainly be doing, more 3D art, and doing more ray tracing in Unreal, and with the PC, it will actually be able to handle it and perform well. So
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna just play games on mine if I get one, but I don't know. I gotta actually.
It's still early. Like really, Metro Exodus is one game that's fully ray traced, and Cyberpunk has some a lot of ray tracing options. But as far as like mass majority of games using them, it's still taking a little bit. I think The Witcher is another game that I'll probably go back when they actually put their ray tracing thing in, but we'll see. It's just that it's nice that the technology is like affordable if you can find it.
Yeah, and that's cool too, because they used to be super expensive for like really good GPUs, and now they're not. And technology is getting better and also cheaper at the same time, which is always great. But yeah, man, I just wish it wasn't so hard to kind of get the items that we kind of want. But I think there's a lot of strain in the processes that cause this. GPUs has always been scarce, but it's just even worse now. So hopefully that changes soon, and hopefully I can actually get one. I got a micro center in my area. I just haven't thought about it because, again, I always felt like it was something that I wanted, don't need per se. So it was always like I don't need to put in a time, because if I put in a time like you did, I probably could have got one sooner. I just felt like it's something that should be easy at this point. I'm already spending money, so why not make it easy for your boy? But life can't be that simple.
Yeah, but I definitely say, like, don't. Well, I know you wouldn't, but like if you're looking shopping for these things, like don't spend extra money on it for scalpers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's if you have the time, I would say it's worth it to put that time in to save you the money and get close to, retail value as possible, because they were made to be affordable, and for you to spend, 200 times that price just doesn't make any sense.
Does not at all. So definitely heed that warning, people. Do not spend money that you don't need to on devices that you can wait on. There's no real, I guess there's no real thing or real situation where I could say this is the right thing to do. I just don't see it. Not even from a review standpoint. I mean, if you make your money, I guess if you make your money on reviews, I guess you could buy it from a scalper. But outside of that, no, don't do it. But yeah, appreciate the conversation on the journey to the 3080. I guess we can go straight into that Dead Space. Actually, let's talk about Dead Space first, because it's gonna be quick. Dead Space,
Ray Trace 4K Dead Space.
Man, I hope
blood.
I hope, man. I hope I get to shoot some limbs off at glorious 4K 60 with blood splatter. I forget when EA thing really is. I forget when they actually gonna do their EA Play. I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks after. Maybe it was July something, like 16th or whatever. But whatever that day is, that's when they expect to release the Dead Space news on this players. Dead Space was definitely my OG favorite horror game, and it wasn't like I didn't have other games that I really enjoyed. I used to play like games like Obscure on the Wii. I used to play like Resident Evil. I played Silent Hill. I played Condemned, Criminal Origins. Played Condemned 2. I used to play a lot of scary games. Never knew why, because I hated scary stuff. But those were some of my favorite games. And Dead Space just stood out amongst them all, man. That was like the sound quality. It was so crunchy. It felt like you was just stepping on stuff, and it was, I don't know. That game really had some of the best gameplay mixed with audio that I could find on a scary game. It just felt so. It felt so close. It felt like they were right next to you, and you could hear them coming around corners and creeping on you. And you just knew something was going to pop out at all times. So,
well, back then, like, scary games, they were either like scary but like trash controls, or it played okay but it wasn't scary. Whereas Dead Space, I wouldn't say it was the scariest game. It was still more action oriented, but it kept that same atmosphere where you feel like you could die any moment. So
right, it felt like you ain't got that many times to get hit before you dead. And Dead Space 1 was a lot scarier than 2 and 3. Dead Space 1 felt like, because it had that thing that was always chasing you that you couldn't kill. It just come back, and it always had like he didn't talk. So all you had was the sounds of the ship, and I think they relied heavily on the sound. And I played it with headphones like an idiot, and I don't know why I did that, but it was like, it made it a lot scarier for me. Maybe it wouldn't have been as scary if I just played like an action game. I just played it normally, but I was creeping around there because I didn't want nothing to pop out on me. I was always low on ammo, and it just felt like survival horror done right and like a really good mix, you know? It wasn't like overly action. It wasn't like overly gory, or like not gory, but yeah, it wasn't overly gory either, because I hated like super gory games where just blood everywhere. It was stupid. And it was just like perfect. It was that type of it hit all the bells for me, at least. And I know what type of games I enjoy. Like I enjoy more Resident Evil 4 than I would like a Silent Hill. There's other games that's out there that kind of like are, you know, like I hate Bloodborne for one reason and one reason alone. It's too much blood. It was just like I don't like the concept of the game, but Bloodborne was the gameplay was fun to play. It's just that the goriness of it and like the creatures that they kind of created, the grotesqueness, and I was just like I can't get with it. But that game wasn't grotesque. It was like it was just had very powerful moments in my opinion. So I'm really hoping that this is true. I'm really hoping this Dead Space rumor is all facts. I hope it's not a lie. I hope they actually are telling the truth and this is what's going to be announced. I'd be really disappointed if it's some garbage. But Dead Space is definitely... Do they even own Visceral? I thought Visceral was like depleted.
They bought Viscerals and they just closed them down and put them on different projects like Battlefield and stuff. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to be called Visceral. It's just going to be, you know, EA, Montreal, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to make it. But hopefully it has some people who at least, you know,
created the original Dead Space.
Yeah, or know what to do. You know, if it's Respawn, something like that, I would trust them with it. But just generic EA developer, I don't really trust it because they, for some reason, gonna have to integrate it to make it feel like Battlefield, or it's going, or they gonna give it to BioWare and it's
they gonna make them use that Frostbite engine, stupid Frostbite engine. You can't do nothing in, bro. I have never seen so much money wasted on an engine before in my life. Frostbite engines suck. I think they said they did some revisions to it for
I guess, but
other
I still feel
games.
like it's the only ones who can make it because they've been making Battlefield forever and that's all they make. So everybody else is struggling.
Dog, Frostbite is the worst. Man, it is like so stiff and super animated. It just feels fake, and they try to push up the pretty stuff, but it's like super uninteractive. It's just not an interactive type of. At least that's how. At least based off the elements that they use, it just does not feel dynamic at all. It just seems. But then you got games like Battlefield where the whole freaking map is dynamic, and it just. I don't know. I feel like Frostbite is a trash engine, period. And every time a game come out that cuts on Frostbite, I feel like it's a trash game. But maybe that's just EA games in general. So, whatever. Maybe it's not the engine itself. I mean, like, stop putting all the blame on me. It's these developers that's sorry. So, but yeah.
What about you, Jalen? You gonna play another Dead Space game? Didn't you play Summer 2?
I don't know if I played Dead Space again, to be honest with you. I did play 2. I didn't beat it, but I think I got closer to the end of the game. I forgot when or why I stopped playing, but I don't know, man.
What made you pick up 2?
I don't know. I was in a different space, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like horror games and stuff like that. I feel like I had a good balance of like horror and like horror and action. I kind of wanted to challenge myself because I don't really like horror games, but I thought some of the engineered weapons on there, because you know they basically do like makeshift weapons. Mm-hmm. I thought that was like interesting, and then like the way you can use the plasma cutter. I thought I was in like 10th or 11th grade how you can just shift the plasma cutter to horizontal or vertical. I always thought that's interesting, and like how effective that weapon was. So then you have like progression stuff in there too. So I did like that aspect as far as like, you know, level up your weapons or I don't know if you actually level them up or you just put modifications and stuff on them, but seeing how they change over time and stuff, I always thought that was interesting too. So, and then a way you would kill like the necromorphs. So
yeah, it was pretty deep. Like I think I would search out those mod points so that you can get the upgrades because it did make a big difference with having more damage and stuff. So yeah, the plasma cutter was a great weapon. I think if the gunplay didn't feel good, it wouldn't have been like people wouldn't have liked it as much. But hopefully they can recapture that.
Yeah,
Here's
it
the
was
hope.
cool.
Here's the hoping.
I was going to ask you, Deontay, which one do you think is going to be better? This new, if they do come out with it, this new Dead Space game, or the Calypso project? Because Calypso was the one that I think they showed off back during the Xbox reveal.
Yeah,
and it's by people who used to work at Respawn.
correct.
I mean, not Respawn.
Visceral.
Yeah.
And worked on the first Dead Space. Probably still Dead Space because I'm so attached to that world more, and I feel like they have more to tell there. Versus a new IP is kind of harder to get me invested, even if it is the same development team. Sometimes it's just that nostalgic feel of dealing with those types of weapons and dealing with the authentic assets versus having something that's kind of a variation of something that they created previously. And I'm not trying to knock him because you can still do great work in that type of environment. I just know that I'm attached to that Dead Space feel. So even if the original people went off and did another game that was kind of similar to that, I would still play it, but I would be more attached to like the reboot of the Dead Space because that's just the game I really enjoyed and that world. And it wasn't the story, it was the concept, the place you were, just feeling open, running, floating around space. You know what I'm saying? And these space suits and feeling like helpless in that regard, and basically just alone. So it was always felt more meaningful in that regard than any other narration or storytelling elements that they could do. The world was the story to me. And I was like, dang, how this happened? How this dude just end up dead right here? I don't understand how I want to get down to the mystery of how it occurred and like how all these dead bodies just around, you know what I'm saying? So it was always that portion for me. So definitely still going to be Dead Space for me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still going to play both.
Yeah, I'm be interested in seeing both. I feel like even though they say like we want to make a game like Dead Space, but I feel like they're going to want to do their own thing. Like you said, it's not going to be the same feel.
No,
which
definitely not.
It's a good thing because it's their new IP. They want it to be unique, so they're not going to copy everything that Dead Space did. So we'll see. Hopefully, it's good. I feel like I'm more interested in that because I don't really know what EA would do, like with make a Dead Space battle royale.
EA sucks, bro. It's just sad. I'm sick of them. I'm really sick of them. I'm sick of their terrible Maddens. I'm sick of their terrible sports games. They're stupid. They can't get NBA Live right, so we stuck with this trash 2K21. And it just seemed like they have never had a W. They just make the most money. Well, I guess their only W is Respawn, to be honest. That's the last thing I remember. For the last freaking the entire PS4 era, the only dub I can give them is buying Respawn. I don't remember any of EA games to be meaningful. And maybe I have to go down a list. But I hated all of them. I can't even give them... I'm not giving them Respawn. I don't care if Jedi came out. I don't care if Apex came out. They don't deserve that W. They really haven't had... Whatever. It's not the point of this topic. It's to go on a rant about EA trashness. They know they trash.
And they dropped the last generation. Like, Titanfall was supposed to be more successful. They dropped the ball. They had all the Star Wars games on lock, and most of them was trash.
Significantly dropped the ball, man. They
Yeah.
had terrible game after terrible game. Yeah, man. Even when they had like small victories, like in like the little Plants vs Zombies games, they couldn't capitalize on it. It just seemed like they just, I don't know. I don't know. They just seem they're off to me. It's an off company. Um, but anyways, last thing I want to talk about is that Mario Golf Super Rush, y'all. That fire that came out on Friday. I actually really like this game. Karina likes it too. But it's actually competitive more than I expected it to be. So I was thinking like this ain't gonna be competitive. Ain't really much you could do. But they got the speed golf, then they got the battle golf, which makes way more sense in a Mario game than just regular traditional golf. So they actually have modes that you could compete in and be competitive in, and then you got modes that you could play traditional golf in, and it has a little adventure mode. I wouldn't. Again, this kind of brings me back to the whole idea of paying top dollar for certain games. No, I don't think it's worth 60, but you gonna pay 60, and that's the normality of it. But it's fun. The value that you receive out of it is still enjoyable. So I'm having fun with it. I don't know how long I'm gonna play it, but at least I know that it's reminiscing of previous sports games that come out the Mario camp that were actually good and fun to play. It's not boring in that sense, you know. They actually took the time to kind of create innovative ways to play golf and in a Mario game, and they succeeded at it. I don't think it's like super, you know, it doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10 to be fun. Mario games most of the time are fun in general, but you're not going to continuously play it. That's what I'm saying. It's not like there's so much intricacy to it that you just, you know, you got so much to deep dive into. It's not like that. It's just on the surface. Is it going to make your blood boil if she hit this in this hole faster than you, or if he hit this in this hole faster than you? Does it have online gameplay? Yes. Does it have local multiplayer? Yes. Do you have ways to finesse over your friends? Yes. That's the formula. That's all you need. That's all you need to have fun in any type of Mario sports. You know, Smash. I think Smash got on a different level, to be honest. I think over time it just became more of a tactical game than it ever should have ever been. But that's all thanks to the community. I don't think honestly I don't think that's what they were going for, but I mean I could be wrong. But those types of games, you know, it kind of has that the finesse to it. It has that little inch of finesse, like a Mario Kart, where you can, you know, manipulate in certain ways to do better than your opponent, but you also can finesse them out of things by doing power shots and knocking their ball away and giving them a bogey because you didn't knocked it into the rough or something. So it's cool. I like it. And I haven't liked the sports game from Mario in a while. I played Tennis Ace. I didn't think it was good. I played. I think the one before Mario Tennis Ace. What was it? It was it was an Olympics game. Shoot. Now I can't remember what the one before tennis was. Tennis Ace. Dang, it's gonna mess up my brain now because I can't remember. It's gonna mess with me, so now I have to look it up. Mario sports games.
Recently, I know that they stopped doing the sports games. They were just doing the Olympics than they did.
Was Mario Tennis Ace the last one they did? Really?
Yeah, I think because there was a tennis game on the 3DS, and then I think they came out with the one on the Switch.
Dang, you right. I could have sworn they did one on the Switch before that one. Oh, it was the Olympics game. But I thought it was something by himself. Whatever. But yeah, I like I said, I really enjoy Super Rush. It's probably one of their best outings when it comes to the sports Mario games in a while. I wonder how they'd do a basketball game. I see this Mario sports mix, but I'd probably want to dedicate
Go ahead,
basketball.
Tell them, Taylor. The game was cold.
They had an actual basketball
Mario
game.
3.
Oh,
yeah, they had
man.
Mario Basketball 3-on-3. That game was tight, man. They had the music, the sound. You probably like the soundtrack on that game too.
Mario 3v3s. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
like Mario. I'm like, man, that lady singing in that background, bro.
man.
It was on DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had Mario characters versus Square Enix characters, and everybody had like super moves before you can shoot or dunk. It was just fun because, like you said, it's not really about the sport. It's because you breaking all these rules, but it's just about being fun. And I feel like back then they were just super creative and had a bunch of modes and maps, so you could just play it, for a long time and not get bored. Whereas recently, it's always missing. It's just missing that one thing that would just make it, better.
Right, like
it's fun, but they got online. Or I like Mario Kart 8, but I hate the lobby system, and I just want to go online and play with my friends or something like that.
Right.
And as long as they keep having those issues, then I don't feel like I'll be interested in the sports games. But they've always been good at it, and they're not really competing with nobody because they make some of the best just sports spin-off games,
arcade games.
Yeah.
After NFL Streets and NBA Streets retired, they really ones. That's all we got.
Yeah.
So, and that's another EA. I hate EA. I cannot stand them. But yeah, those games. It brought me back to I remember I was playing Mario Strikers. That used to be one of my favorites too.
I don't even like soccer. I like Mario Strikers.
Yeah, it was just so. That mud was competitive, G. I mean, I used to get on the sticks and I used to go crazy. I'd be like, man, this game was tough. It was actually you had to put in time to understand it. I was like, bro, I can't just get on this and actually win. I literally got to play. And I was like, okay, this has actually got some tactics to it. So,
that's what them high level cups.
Yeah, that's where you win. That's where those games win for me, when they actually have a little more tactic to it, and you actually have to think about what you're finna do before you do it, and and the art of finesse is really where it lies, and that's how you win. I think Mario Tennis Ace just didn't have it at all, so I think that was a miss for them.
It wasn't a hard game when you're playing against the computer. I remember Mario Tennis back on the GameCube when you start getting to them high level cups, man. Them dudes be cheating. You be like, man, I don't know how I'm supposed to beat y'all, dude.
Nah, it wasn't hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not. In Mario Golf, it's kind of like you play off the elements of the map as well. So you got these things where you got to play to try to get elevation or try to get above something. So it's not like a traditional golf game, obviously, but it's also sometimes you have to curve around objects, and if you don't really know how to curve spin and do certain things, you probably not going to be able to curve it correctly to the point where you're doing good back shots, back spins, front spins to get more roll on your ball and whatever, try to get it closer to the hole. So it's things that you play in the game to kind of make it more strategic. Mario Ace, when I played it, because I bought it, when I played it, it wasn't really much outside of positioning and like when to use your special attack. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't really much else to it, and it had so little modes and little things to do. There wasn't no real fun, even battle mode for it. Granted, Mario Golf only has one battle mode. Only has 4 battle mode maps. It needs more, to be honest, but it's still more of an offering than what Mario Tennis Ace had at the beginning. So it's just, Mario Golf is fun. I know they don't update their games, so I'm not expecting to like see a bunch of new stuff unless it's like some crazy DLC, or if it's like a remix ultra deluxe edition or something like that later down the line. But as of now, I think what's there is solid, and it's enough time to play for like 30 hours straight and still be having fun through the adventure. But then it's also really if people really are interested in like playing like a Mario sports game that we can compete in, Mario Golf is a decent one at this time. Not the greatest, but it's definitely a decent one. It's definitely been it's been one of the better showings since they started. I'm hoping the same thing happened with Mario Party Superstars, because they're basically taking a bunch of the old stuff and putting it all together and updating the graphics. So how can you miss? To be honest, I mean, if you miss on that, then you just trash. But and they put an online gameplay too, so that's interesting. But yeah, I actually enjoyed Mario. I knew I was gonna like it because I was like, man, I don't know, man. They out here deboing in the field. They got you on the field knocking niggas over. I said you can actually rush. You can actually rush them. And
that game got hard too.
And you can knock people balls out the way, turn them into Rosalina. I don't know what Karina was doing, but Rosalina turned your ball into a star. And I was like, bro, how do you hit? And I was like, bro, where all this extra curve come from? I did not know that she could do that. I thought they all had the same moves where you just knock them out the way. But apparently Rosalina's can turn your junk into a star, and it just don't roll at all. It just goes curving. So she messed me all the way up, and I was like super confused on where all that curve I had on my ball came from. But yeah, it's just cool. It's a cool little fun game, and I think people, I think it'd be something to just have in your catalog for when people come over, because it's pretty fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I ain't really got much else to talk about. Anything y'all want to mention or state before we wrap this thing up as usual?
No, get out, enjoy y'all summer, get y'all vaccines.
Get y'all vaccines. Don't be like Jalen, drink y'all Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing, Jalen. Let them get their Gatorades. 2-for-1 specials. Get their electrolytes. He probably was like that. He said, man, what's this man talking about? I got a whole fever over here. Like, man, don't worry about it. Drink your Gatorade.
Yeah, he did keep saying, I'm like, man, he must have seen something online that said Gatorade help all this.
Jalen over here like Gatorade is full of sugar and it's actually gonna go to your what's the name, and reduce your immune system.
Man, you're gonna get all the sugar, you're gonna start pissing it out. All that sodium in there, man.
Yeah, man. No, I'm just telling you what I had, because I had headaches, and I had headaches and stiffness in the arm, but I didn't have anything else. I had shakes, like Josh said, on the second go around, but outside of that, all I did was sit down, I was moving my arm a lot, and I was drinking Gatorade. That was it. I mean, I didn't really do nothing else. So that's the only reason that came from. It was like, drink this to hydrate, and I was like, cool. And because my head was hurting, and I started drinking that, and then took some Tylenol. Yeah, I took some Tylenol. That was it. Tylenol and Gatorade. That's all I did. Sat down. And I was straight. But, I mean, obviously, you said there was different things how that stuff react to people. So, obviously, I'm not licensed. I'm just providing what worked for me, I suppose, at the time when I had it. When I went through that. You know, that first phase. Because once you got it, man, you in there now. We in this together now.
No, man.
if it's what's that lady said? Why is that key sticking to our neck? Yeah, we all magnets now. It said if the mothership come back, they taking all of us because we magnets.
That's goofy, dude.
Bro, the conspiracies are crazy. I love it.
Bro. Nah, man, it's just... Yeah, man, that junk was crazy, bro. I'm like... The stiffness I had in my arm, bro, it was like going into like my armpit. Like my arm ain't hurt. It was like my armpit that was really hurting. And bro, when I'm trying to tell you, man, when I tried to get up to go to work, I was in there. I was like, man, I can't miss a day, bro. I'm in that mode like, hey, I'm having some symptoms, but y'all finna let me come in because we got to do this little like attestation, like symptom tracker thingy. And I looked at it. I started going through some of the stuff, and it was asking if I'm having some of these symptoms. I was like, man, if I say yes to any, they might deny me to come in or something. So I had just texted my pre-shot. I'm like, hey, man, I'm having some like fatigue, maybe mainly like muscle pains and like this pounding headache that won't leave. And she's like, is you running a fever? When I had a thermometer at the crib, I was like, man, I am running a fever, man, but she don't need to know that. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm running a fever, man. She was like, nah, you might as well just stay home if you got some symptoms, Yeah. I was like, man. Then I just went back to sleep, bro, and I was just sleep,
and the whole day went by.
Damn, bro, I was irritated. I was just like, dude.
Man, it's all right, man. It's over now. And it's over now.
I ain't getting that second dose. Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, bro. I got enough immunity now.
Oh, my God, man. What are you talking about? You got to get the second, man.
What's the point?
Man, it'll be done, no.
I just get COVID again. I just start COVID my way.
It ain't even effective until you take the second dose, and 3 weeks later, man, you know this.
Man, it's gonna be effective now.
Man, no, it ain't, man. Why you ain't want that Johnson one and done?
Nah, what's the point again if the efficacy ain't as high?
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
I'm finna get poked, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's your general report on COVID vaccines and how to beat. Don't listen to Jalen. Get your second dose, even if the first one got you weak. It got me low. It put you down. I ain't gonna lie. You put me down, but I come in the name of Jesus.
It ain't what you think.
But thanks for listening as usual. Appreciate you guys especially if you got to this point. And we will catch you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.